And the cat is posing. Hello, it's Monday.
It's Monday, and this is Kiki. She wanted to make an appearance. She's been checking out the bus projects the last few days with us, and she likes some of the stuff that's coming together.
Yeah, since the last update on Friday. Oh, cat. The MasterTech crew actually, well, some of the crew, Tim the owner, came in and worked over the weekend with his son. The goal was to get a lot of the plumbing handled, so we got the fresh tanks in under the bed.
And they got those all plumbed in, and we actually flooded all the lines and tested that there were no leaks going into all the new packs that were on. So that's really good. That got us feeling really positive about things. They started installing the waste tanks.
Yeah, we got the black tank in and glued in place and lined up with the toilet. And the fittings drilled into that, spin welded into that.
That was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun to see this molten plastic spinning, and so there was kind of the weekend ended feeling kind of good. It's like, well, we got some stuff done. Maybe not everything that was on the list for the weekend, but
fun to have progress over the weekend, which is one of the reasons we originally fell in love with MasterTech. Is when we were here a year ago, is we got to spend a weekend in the shop with Tim doing projects on our own and working side by side with him, and just seeing that he does do a lot of work after hours. And that's the kind of stuff that he wanted to do in our project. I know he wanted to have the time to do stuff over the weekend.
Yeah. When he has time to work by himself, he does a really, really good job because he can sit and focus and be very creative and does the unique problem solving and creative thinking that we love.
But of course, this summer has been very busy for MasterTech. And he just doesn't have that time available, so that's why the project got so far behind, and why we're now in this position of having to either say, hey guys, you're either going to meet this deadline or we need to come up with alternatives.
Yes.
And we are at, kind of this week is the decision point for us.
There's a lot that needs to be done by the end of this week, and it is looking very dicey.
It's been a roller coaster. Today's Monday. A lot of stuff was on the agenda to get wrapped up today and hopefully get us into the paint booth by tomorrow afternoon on Tuesday.
And today was disappointing. A lot didn't happen.
And it's not all the shop's fault. I mean, they're one of the key managers here called in sick this morning. There was a new sales guy who was just hired on this morning that they had to kind of coach through. Tim was left having to juggle a lot of stuff. They had some new projects come through.
They had some other, I mean, it was just, the energy was today was a bad Monday, I think, for almost everybody here, and so and then just a lot of little things like the one thing, the beautiful install. Our generator is now installed and in. Our air compressor is mounted, but the exhaust fitting isn't here. They need to go and
the wiring
find
harness. They didn't order that in, so they have to get the wiring harness.
Yeah.
So all these little things. There's now a lot of stuff like the PrecisionTemp Hydronic is also in that state of there's like one or two things left to do on it that they're waiting parts for that they could have pre-measured and known they needed.
Yes.
And so now we're in this position of waiting for parts to come in so they can wrap up and test these things.
Yeah, it's almost done, but we can't do this other thing until we test that thing. But we can't test that thing because we forgot to get this one little part, and square zero.
So yeah, we're taking a little break here. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening. Tim says he's going to work on getting the new toilet installed to go into the black tank. He can't continue on with the gray tank because one of the fittings are missing, and he couldn't locate them this afternoon. So we're in a holding pattern. We have talked with the paint booth, and they say they can get us in tomorrow afternoon, but that requires a lot of stuff wrapping up for the bus bill to move over to the paint booth. But we're going to be in progress for that. We have this fifth wheel that we're sitting right now. This is borrowed from one of our very kind viewers. They need it next week to go on their very first vacation in it. And we want to make sure it is to their hands in plenty of time so they can get set up. So we only have till early next week until we need some place to stay with our cat, and we're also falling into Labor Day weekend after that, so hotel availability is really low here. So we're kind of in a scary place right now. I'm kind of like, where are we going to be living after the first of next week? And is our bus going to be to a state that we can at least stay in it overnight, even if we have to use the shop's facilities for water and toilet?
Yeah, well, and actually, I think the one thing we might have is we might have plumbing by next week. But yeah, there's so much that just needs to come together right now. So
hopefully we have better news tomorrow.
But we're feeling a little demoralized today. So
today.
It's not Tuesday night, it's Wednesday night.
Yes, we just did not yesterday have a chance to do a video capture. We did our live video chat, and then we came right back into the shop and worked. We're here till midnight, I think, last night, right?
Midnight last night. There's been a lot happening.
And a not lot happening.
And a not lot happening, and a lot of stuff sometimes getting redone that needs to be done again. So the last 2 days have actually been very frustrating. but we're happy to say we're ending Wednesday night here at midnight on a high note. We have hot water and the potential for hot air.
That is huge. The hydronic system, which is by PrecisionTemp that we are having installed here, all the plumbing had been done and everything else, and we just needed to fill it up with coolant and get it boiling, and the darn thing wouldn't fire up today.
Yeah, it turns out, just to make a long story short, PrecisionTemp has some documentation and quality issues.
Not really quality issues, more the documentation.
But that put us on a wild goose chase. There was one piece that had broken off inside, so we're thinking, something break, did some connection come loose? It's just not firing up the burners. And we spent a couple hours tonight tracing wires on the circuit board with a circuit diagram before finding that there's a different circuit diagram for our specific model with the engine assist, and there's an undocumented jumper that needed to be put into place. And as soon as we plugged that jumper in, boom, ignition, fire. And just a few minutes later, beautiful, quiet, hot air, hot water, coolant circulating through. It's right over here, and it is finally alive. So we ended the night. We were about to head home on defeat, saying we're going to have to call PrecisionTemp in the morning and
try to find out what's going on. So this is the inside of a PrecisionTemp hydronic system, and we'll do a video on it later at some point and give you more of a tour of it. But that's a lot of plumbing and wiring and all the stuff that had to come together to make that happen, and it works. So it's nice to end the evening on a high point.
I just washed my hands in our sink with hot water, but
you'll into a bucket.
Our sink is a bucket because, well, we've got the gray tanks in. They're huge.
Yes, the gray tanks had come in. We left the last video. The gray tanks hadn't been installed. They did get installed.
And all the drains and everything are plumbed up, except now the outlet, the actual dump valves, have not been hooked up
So we can't actually put any fluids into the tanks because they would just spill out onto the floor.
But that's closer.
So that's getting closer. Tim just needs to go and get one more part. To finish that up.
One more part, and maybe tomorrow we got that.
Generator, we discovered that they had not really read the manual and didn't know that it needed an air intake. So they had to go back and create that.
They had to modify it, put in the proper air intakes, which is very frustrating. I was like, why? It's there. It's whoops, missed a part. But now the generator is in and is basically running.
And you also discovered that the new Viair air compressor,
the pressure cutoff switch was not actually connected to pressure, so it would never cut off. So we had to have that replumbed a little bit today. So frustrating, a lot of little repeat things, a lot of things, but you know, they're done. Now we got an air compressor.
The other thing that happened today, let's see if I can get a shot up there of the roof.
Air conditioners are on the roof.
Air conditioners are on the roof. We went ahead and splurged and purchased 2 new Dometic Penguin 2s. We decided we just wanted all new ones. We had 2 mismatched ones before. They had old shrouds on them. We really weren't happy with our old Coleman Mach 8. It was just ridiculously loud. And we saw some of the newer Dometic ones around in the shop, and you know, it's like the white case, it looks really nice with our new white paint.
Yep.
You know, let's just, we're overdoing it, let's just get new ones. Yep. So we have nice match sets, so those got installed today.
The paint shop guys started to take some parts off our bus and prime them and get other things ready to move us back into paint. So maybe tomorrow by noon we'll be moving back into paint.
That's what they're saying right now.
There's still a lot to be done tomorrow morning.
So wrap everything up so they can move it over there. But I mean, it's really nice to start getting some check marks and saying projects are at a state of completion, but there's still lots of little things. Like the freshwater tank still needs a overflow valve done onto it, so that can be hooked up. The gray and black tanks still need the
drain valves hooked up,
and they still need the flushy thing inside that goes spin wee.
And now that we've proven the PrecisionTemp is working and doing the coolant, we need to finish wiring up the thermostats and everything else.
The cat door is in. Where is the cat door? It's somewhere over here. Yeah, look at the. You know, it's a bit of a mess around here.
There's chaos.
It's a lot of chaos, but this behind this door is the Kiki litter box tray. And down here
is the new hatch.
Is the new hatch that will be going on there. So that's what we'll be changing the litter box through. So they've got to get that attached tomorrow because they will actually be painting it. It kind of goes over the striped part where it'll be white versus blue. So that has to be painted. So that has to be installed first.
Yep.
They're also getting a new similar one
For the fridge?
That is the old fridge vent, and we're putting a new one on there, similar size. And unfortunately, the door company that makes them sent it without ventilation. Like,
so they're like, whoops, they're coming over to pick it up tomorrow and are going to fix it ASAP. Because they actually sent us their proof diagram, and it had too much ventilation from what we initially called for. And we're like, well, okay,
that's fine.
Too much is fine.
Too much is fine.
And then they deliver it, and
without
it doesn't
any.
match the proof, and it has no ventilation. So
little delays.
Renovations are very frustrating.
But yeah, so rear of the bus, you can see the tail lights are off. They're all getting prepped and primed for painting. I had the graphics guy over today to start, for the few little graphics that graphical elements go on it. He came over today and getting the graphics installed. So this is the other side of the work area over here. This big pile of boxes. It's all about to go out for recycling and stuff. So yeah, a lot of trash. The toilet did get installed Tuesday evening. Tim did get that in. Here's the other side of
the tanks, the huge tanks.
The tanks and selfie stick. I get used to it. So yeah, you can see it's a nice wedge shape, so it actually drains on a slope, and got nice foam insulation underneath. And we'll have actually some pass-through storage on top of the tank, which will be great for our flagpole buddy and awning sticks and other things like that.
Yes, this is a wonderful addition to our storage arsenal, actually.
So stuff is coming together. The mood here at MasterTech is still
kind of tense.
It's
there's
tense.
Some key people have been sick all week, and it's frustrating, but it's good to end today on a happy note.
Yes.
Hot water is a happy maker.
Yes. Hot showers will be mine soon.
And actually, I think I'm going to go take a hot shower now. Not in our bus because we don't have a great tank yet, but at least I can go have a hot shower and pretend I'm in my bus. Okay.
All right. What time is it?
It's 11:30, so it's yeah.
So 2 long days, 3 long days in a row. Hopefully,
and tomorrow's Thursday. Hopefully, we're getting over into the paint booth, and we'll be coming.
We have secured an option for lodging. Should the bus not be livable, I'm actually going with the assumption it won't be livable come early next week. We'll be able to turn back in our borrowed fifth wheel.
We'll see.
And the shop's owner's personal RV, he has said that we can move into, or he will put us up in a hotel if we choose.
Yep.
So it's good to have that. Positive on MasterTech on that. They are taking care of us. They are aware of the situation and that we are technically homeless with all these continued delays. So
yes. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully there'll be a lot more good stuff to report on. Take care. It's Thursday. This week is going fast, but today was a good day.
But let's backtrack a little bit. When we first came back to Elkhart after the Alaska trip, that we left on August 13th, and Tim, the owner of MasterTech, told us he needed 3 days of what he calls the mechanicals in the bus, which is like doing the hydronics and the generator and the plumbing and things like that. He needed 3 days. He needed to wrap all that up.
And then we could be in paint.
And then we could go to paint. And the reasoning's good. You don't want to do all that stuff before risking damaging the new paint job. So awesome.
Smart. Good idea.
So we planned our return to come in on August 18th. On Tuesday, the following after that, which would have kind of put us at the tail end of wrapping up the mechanicals.
To get ready to go into paint.
And it is now August 27th. That's 9 days since we've been back. That's much more than the 3 days.
3 days for mechanical.
That was estimated.
Things have taken a lot longer than expected, and, well, guess what?
Guess what?
We are in the paint department. There's Zephyr sitting there. I got to drive our bus today, which was pretty darn exciting.
Yes. So last evening, we wrapped up with Tim. We got the hydronics fired up and working correctly. We did have a chat with PrecisionTemp today, and they did
admit to faulty manuals, and manuals that were in some cases 5 years out of date.
So yes, all the frustrations with the PrecisionTemp were on them. And the instructions at 11 o'clock last night from Tim were we're going to wrap up a couple of the mechanicals and be in paint by noon on Thursday. Those projects, as is kind of the history here at MasterTech, just didn't get done this morning.
There was some stuff that didn't get wrapped up this morning, but we're like, let's just go to paint anyway. And
the paint shop guys were ready and waiting and holding their schedule open for us, and we said, you know what? The last remaining things, they can be done later.
Yeah, and they were very smart. And you see, they taped up the bus, but they left the bays all individually taped, so we can still open up and get in to continue doing mechanical work when the paint isn't actually happening.
So, yes.
So there's stuff still to be done, and lots has been happening.
So, yes. So today we got moved over into the paint bay. They started getting everything prepped again so that it can be painted. And some of the carpentry work has continued on well today.
A lot happened in the carpentry department today. Our new front door got mostly built. Our bed got mostly, our new bed platform over the new freshwater tanks got mostly assembled. Our bathroom, we've got a new little cabinet in the bathroom. That will be our toilet paper cabinet. And actually we're working here on, this is Kiki's bathroom, as we talked about before. And this is the air vent that's going to go out of Kiki's bathroom so she has lots of fresh air and we don't smell her. So yeah, we designed the air vent system.
Yeah,
for
we
the cat.
may possibly have one of the first to ever cat poop vents in an RV. We'll see. I'm sure it's one of the few, if there are any other out there. So yes, Kiki's bus is on track. Tomorrow they should be spraying some of the first new paint that's gone on it since mid-July, when the whole project got kind of sidetracked. So we're super excited. Yes. What this means for us is we've been here 9 days on site since we got back on August 18th. And we have been really working in the shop, kind of managing a lot of the crew, getting a lot of the projects on track, doing our own research.
Doing projects at night of our own and helping out.
And also, of course, running our own business pursuits. So we've been pulling 18-hour days nonstop for 9 days. And what this meant is today we actually got to sit in our borrowed living room for about 2 hours today with our feet up and not have to
keep diving in on little projects and giving feedback and checking in. So it was a big, and the bus, we moved the bus. I mean, that just felt good. I said it was really good to make some forward progress, and then Sheree pointed out that most of the trip across was reverse.
You backed in.
Yes, we had to back into the spot. But and yeah, indeed, I got to drive the bus, hear the two-stroke roar, all that good stuff. And
so it's good. Are we going to make our deadlines? Probably not. Ideally, in an ideal world, we would be pulling out of here early next week. Definitely the paint might be done by then. These guys are really good. They're really committed to getting it done.
Knock on wood or aluminum.
Aluminum, and doing a quality job at it. We don't want to rush any of this, of course.
Yes, and we've got a lot of systems still to really give a thorough test to. So even once we're, quote, done, there'll be testing and tweaking, and there's just little pieces to come together. And hopefully soon, though, we'll be on the road.
Just keep in mind, tomorrow, Friday, August 28th, was the original deadline that MasterTech committed to at the beginning of the month that they would get us out of here by.
Yes. So
work is progressing. But yes, the deadlines have again slipped, and a variety of reasons. We could probably do a case study on this operation, but we're not going to at this point.
There's a lot of great people here. There's a lot of great work being done, but there's just some gears that haven't quite meshed, and the timelines get really distorted sometimes.
Yes. I really think we're in a time vortex here. Yes, I think it's a different calendar system here. It is. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to wrap up this little update, and the next chapter will be painting
and paint videos. Fun.
Yes.
This will be exciting.
So, thanks for following along.
Bye.